Buyers are my passion. In fact, buyers are the center of my business. Mainly now I've already done 6 or 7 deals. 80% I have the buyers, or in fact I have 100% I have the buyers, and then sometimes I also have the sellers. But yeah, buyers are my thing. They are what I live for. When I started at Remax, everybody told me about listings, getting listings, and that's what I did. I started having listings. So I was not really worried about buyers, but then it didn't really work out. And with the listings, I started to have buyers. How? Because they were coming to see my listings, and sometimes, most of the times, they were not interested because it's difficult to have the first buyer that comes to see your listing and giving a proposal. So what I did was I started getting this connection, and I started realizing that I was having a connection right away with every buyer that would come to see my listing. So I started to build my buyers database. I have a small book where I have all the names of my buyers, and every day when I wake up, and it's really almost when I wake up, I read the book and I look at all the names so that I don't forget all my buyers. And that's how I started. I started with the listings, I started to have buyers. Also, I got some buyers from Facebook and from Instagram. I've worked 20 years in marketing business in Unilever. So I started to build my brand in social media, which I think is a very important way of working. I normally say that my position is the social media, and there I also got some buyers. I created this image, I created my brand, so I have sometimes buyers that come directly from the social media platforms asking me to find their property. I think the most important service that I give to my clients is my heart. I give myself to the buyers, and people understand that. The buyers, they understand that. They feel like I am buying with them. I am that agent that if I feel that house is not for them, I'm going to tell them that that house is not for them. So that specifically is my main service, is that I am buying the house with them, although I'm not paying for it. I can't pay for all the houses, of course, but I am buying the house with them. And then what I'll do is one-to-one and almost like instantaneously response to their needs. So I'm always on top of things, I'm always sending options, I am always replying to their requests. Buying a house is very challenging for everyone. Either you are an investor or you are buying your first house, or it's the 10th house that you are buying, it's always challenging. So if you feel like there is an agent that feels your pain, they will stick with you. So that's my main service. And then I also use the buyer's contract. Every time that I feel that I already have that relation, I send the buyer's contract. And this is mostly important when there is somebody that says, I really want that property in that specific place. With a buyer's contract, it's so much easier to get that done. So you just explain that to them very, very openly. And until now, I never had a no, because when it's something that is said very, very bluntly and explained, everybody will sign the contract. They don't pay, it's just something that will help them, so they sign. So that's another way that I work and that I use a lot. Okay, so I have 2 specific processes to work my buyers database. I have this a very easy one, which is a book where I write the names, and I know that it sounds not very digital, okay, but it's very important, and it's the only way to have it next to me at all times. It's in my purse, it's in my bedside table, so that when I wake up, I read it. It's a very small one, like a black book, and it's very important. And why? Because I have, for example, right now I have 60 clients it's impossible to remember all of them when I wake up in the morning. But if I go there and I read the names, it's so much easier to remember, oh, I have to send this, or I have to reply that. This is urgent, this is not urgent. And so that I give a very good service. Because for me, the most important thing is to give a good service to my clients. That's my main goal. It's what is important for me. Then secondly, and because I worked in a multinational, I have the funnel. And everybody tries to ask me to explain what is the funnel. The funnel can also be like when you put a pizza in the oven, and when you put the pizza in the oven, you already start doing the other pizza and putting all the cheese and making the pan and all that. And that's exactly what is a funnel. So normally a funnel has a lot of clients in the beginning, and then it just grows like a funnel until the clients really buy. And of course, you always have much more clients in the beginning than at the end. But you always have to have clients in the beginning and clients at the end. When you are finishing a deal, you always have to have some clients starting to find a house or to sell a house. That's the only way to have the business going, the wheel turning, like I normally say. And so I also have that big A3 paper. Again, paper, I know it's not very digital, but it's easy to scratch and to take out the names and all that. And so I use that a lot to ensure that I don't forget any clients, because that's very important. I use a lot of the social media, okay? That's a very important thing that I do. I put my life there. For example, today I said, let's do a day with Margarida. So I'm just posting videos of where I am, what I'm doing. I don't only post good things, I also post sometimes things that don't work well, because it needs to be real. Life is not always easy. Not every deal goes well, okay? So people need to understand that life sometimes also doesn't work out. But most of the times it's a very positive way, and I share my achievements, okay? And so I really use a lot of that. When it comes to customers, when I have a seller client, every week I do a PowerPoint, and then it becomes a PDF with all the clients that were there, who had interest, how many clicks we had, etc. And that's very, very, very important. I use Casafari, which is a very important website, okay, where we can see what are the main competitors that maybe came into place. I also use our Remax website to see how many clicks, to get that PDF, which is so easy to get and that we can send in 1 minute to the clients, and it's so important, and that builds the relationship. In terms of buyers, what do? I also create, but I do it almost daily, so it's not easy to do a PowerPoint. I just do like an easy page with every property that I think they will like, with the aspects that they like, and with a bit of a comparison with the ones that they have already seen. And that's mainly what I do. Okay, so as I said, there is when I show a property, and we are talking about buyers, when I propose a property, it always comes with a comparable with other properties. Okay, if and after they go and visit, and if they decide for a property, I also do a market study, and with that market study we can see the comparables, we can see if it's expensive or not, if it's in the market. And that is very important, because when a buyer is buying a house or a property, any property, even if they are investors or just buying a property for themselves, they are always worried if it's a good deal. If they are doing a good deal, if they are not, being really everything correct. So I do that, and to ensure that they have the confidence to buy it. So those two things, which are, like not only sending the link but a little bit of a comparison with the features that they like, and also the market study when they are planning to buy. I think those are the two most important features that also, of course, improve the buyer's experience. And also having me, of course, I am the most important experience. The whole buyer experience is very challenging, and it's something that I love. I know that most of the agents don't, but there is nothing like searching for a property and getting the right one. It's a thrill. Your metabolism starts going so fast because it's really challenging. So when you find it, it's really awesome. So how I get it in place? It's just something that I do daily. So once you start doing it, it takes you 10 minutes, 15 minutes to do, Work with your heart. That's the first tip. You need to be the buyer also. You need to think like the buyer. And so don't send them things that if you don't really know what they want. So try to know them as best as you can. So that's the second tip. You need to know them. You need to be almost their best friend. Of course, you don't need to be friends with all your buyers, but you should, because you need to know everything. For example, yesterday I had a buyer that went to see one of my listings, and she was a friend of an agent in my office. At the end of the visit, I knew them more. I knew things that my friend, my colleague, their friend didn't know. How long they were together, how did they decide to get married, all those things. And this is but how is that important? It is very important, because why are they buying another house? Why are they selling theirs? It has everything to do with their relationship. So you need to understand very well who they are, why they are buying. So that's the second thing. Know them very well. And then be there for them. If they ask you a question, don't take 2 hours, 3 hours to answer. Don't take 2 days. You need to answer in 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Okay? Yes, you can go to the toilet. Yes, you can be in a visit. Yes, you can be doing things that you cannot stop. But okay, even if you are watching a movie, it will take you 2 hours. But you should answer as soon as possible, because people are eager to receive the response, so they really need to get that response right away. And then, ultimately, give them like a gift when they buy. So when you do the final deeds, give them something that they will remember you, and finally, keep up the relationship. That buyer will probably buy in some years or in some months. You never know. So just keep up the relationship, because a client is for life. Don't forget, a client is for life. Buyers are the most important segment in my business. For example, in terms of numbers, in terms of transactions, let's say that it's worth 75% of my business, but if we say in terms of value, it goes up to 90%. So it is really my business. Buyers are my business, buyers are my life, and I love working with buyers. I would probably start working buyers much sooner, because as I said before, I started having a lot of listings, which is something that I'm not really keen on. I don't really like the documents. There is always something lacking. And I'm not really a seller's agent. I am much more a buyer's agent. But I know that to have buyers, I had to have listings. So yes, I could say that I could have started sooner, because I could. And probably I would have used more my social media to get buyers. And that's one thing that I always say to the rookies. Another thing is the leads. I would probably have gone to more, those leads, rooms where we can get more leads. Most of the time we don't go as a rookies because we say that there's no point, I just want listings. and it's so important. I still go to those rooms because I always want more leads. There's never too many leads. As many as you have, it's always good, okay? So I would probably have worked more on that and have not that many listings as I have. I would have had, instead of having like 10 listings that I have, probably I would have like 3 or 4, and then focus on the buyers of those listings. Because truly, what really works out for me is buyers.